Jack White is an American musician, singer, and songwriter from Detroit. He came to fame as one of the duo The White Stripes, who released 6 albums, and he's also been in The Raconteurs, who released 3 albums, and Dead Weather, who released 3 albums. He's also produced several solo albums, in fact, 6 more albums. His first album with the White Stripes came out in 1999, so this is quite an impressive output over that period of years. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of Blunderbuss by Jack White. It was released in 2012, and it was his first solo album, and it's my first time listening to it. So I would maybe describe this as alt rock, maybe describe it as blues rock, maybe as alt blues rock. Acclaimed Music says garage. I don't think garage applies here because I think that it's too well recorded. It's got that kind of rich, slightly dirty sound, though, that I expected of the White Stripes, but more produced. So I think possibly garage has been labelled on this because I would say that the White Stripes were certainly in the early albums garage, and he's brought through some of the aesthetic from that. But it is a better produced sound, and it's a wider range of instruments. So yeah, alt blues rock, or even blues rock, with an emphasis on the rock, is probably a decent enough genre holding for this. I'm going to pull out some of the tracks here and talk about different bits of style. So one song, which is Trash Tongue Talker, reminded me of a Chuck Berry song, Never Can Tell. I'm Shaking is a cover of a Little Willie John song, so I think that's a blues song. 16 Saltines is quite a straight rock song. That was probably the most well-known song from the album. Blunderbuss, the track would be folky if it didn't have a pedal steel guitar in it. Hopefully you get the idea. It's quite varied in instruments, it's quite varied in feel, but it's got a kind of unified aesthetic to it. The music's nice. It's nicely done. It's handled well. I enjoyed it. But the focal point here is definitely Jack's voice. He has a somewhat odd voice, and I've talked about this at times with White Stripes. I actually am coming to the conclusion, I have for a while now actually, I think that Jack White is a genius in terms of phonic space and using what he's got. So he's got this this voice that's got particular qualities to it, and he knows how to use it. It's kind of high and scratchy, but it's got a real vulnerability to it, and it's got kind of tension inside it, and it's very effective. And as I say, he knows how to use it to good effect, and he fills the listening experience with it, and it commands attention, which is interesting. That you get this feeling that it fills, because when you listen to it, it could feel like it is kind of not as full a sound as some people have with their voices. Mostly that's because it's high, but actually there's a lot going on in his voice and kind of harmonic content. I'm not going to go into technicalities. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Songs are about, well, it was described as his divorce album. So the songs are about relationships and pain and a somewhat slightly warped view of life, I think, through this. Some people have criticised his depictions of women. Some others have defended it and say, no, he's not being misogynistic here. So I will leave that to the listener to work it out for yourself and make no judgment. Generally, I like it. As an album, it didn't absolutely blow me away, but I did enjoy it. It has a kind of aesthetically a kind of Kings of Leon feel to it, I think, and I think other people have made this comparison as well. It's rich and bluesy with a musical, and so the word darkness comes to mind, but I'm not really sure what I mean by that. So apologies. I have this mild thing of synesthesia, which is when I hear music, I can see. Not very strongly, but potentially see textures, or I think about feeling textures and stuff. Anyway, I liked it. That's what I think of the album, and I'd love to know what you think. So please let me know by leaving me a comment. But that's it from me for now.
Yeah, when you touch my hand and talk sweet talk, I gotta knock that I wobbled in my walk and I'm trembling. That's right, you got me shaking. When you take me in your arms to talk romance, my heart starts doing that Saint Rita